Hello and welcome. You are looking at the website ActiveCampaign.com. And ActiveCampaign.com is the site for an email autoresponder and marketing automation system. And in this course, we'll be looking at the major features of ActiveCampaign and how they work, including email marketing, marketing automation, sales and CRM, as well as messaging. The company's system is designed to help you to customize your emails so that they can attain high deliverability. It's also designed for you to send timely automated emails based on customer activity on your site and elsewhere. The system goes one step further by giving you access to a customer relationship management system, which allows you to store customer information for you to use in your marketing. And depending on which level you choose to purchase, there's also the availability for you to interact with your customer. And in this course, we'll look at the various aspects of ActiveCampaign and how you can use it to individualize your marketing. The system integrates with a number of cloud-based applications you may already be using so that you can extend your effectiveness with your promotions. Currently, according to the website, over 65,000 businesses use ActiveCampaign. So in the first video, we'll look at the pricing and how it compares to other systems that are similar. Welcome back. Now from the home page of ActiveCampaign, you will be able to see the pricing. And if you go to the pricing menu and you click on it, what you're going to see is a matrix available to you. And you'll need to make sure that you classify whether you'd want to pay either monthly or yearly. Obviously, the yearly payment when broken down by month will be less than if you pay monthly. So in this case, we're going to switch the payment to monthly. You're going to see that monthly amount rise depending on when you're seeing this video. What you can also do is you can also drag your contacts to the number you'd be working with so that you get an accurate picture of what your monthly cost would be. So for example, if you don't have 500 but instead you have 5,000, you'll see then that your price for the most popular plan is going to be $169 per month. If you move this forward to 10,000, you'll see that your cost rises. You move it again, you'll see your cost rise again. If you're choosing between the systems, you'll notice that the second level has the CRM system as well as contact lead scoring. If you move to the third level, you'll notice then that site messaging is then going to be available at that level. On another note, with the second level, you'll notice that SMS marketing is going to be available at that level. And what you can do is you can try ActiveCampaign for a 14-day period from this page by clicking this green button. And we are going to start the process by clicking this green button and then opening our account. We'll click the Create Account button. You are going to be asked for a phone number during the course of the trial. In this case, you can either use your business number, your mobile number, or your Google Voice number. Once you've specified some information, you'll then be able to go to your next step. Now, ActiveCampaign does have a wizard available when you first enter. However, you can skip this step and go straight to the dashboard. Now, before you do that, you'll need to agree to their terms of use as well as their spam policy. You should read this entire section both completely before you decide to use ActiveCampaign permanently. Once you do that, you'll then be active on the ActiveCampaign dashboard and ready then to begin creating emails. Welcome back. Now ActiveCampaign does have an affiliate program. So what we're going to do in order to access that program when you're on your dashboard is to come to this help screen. You're then going to type in the word affiliate. You'll then click enter. And what you'll see here is you'll have a couple of links. You're going to have the affiliate program. What you'll want to do is to scroll down. You'll then click on this link for the ActiveCampaign affiliate program page. And basically the program is one that allows you to earn up to 30% recurring commission on any referrals that you send to ActiveCampaign. Now the system is tiered. So you'll start by earning 20% commission. Once you start bringing in more, you can then earn 25%. And then once you're earning up to $500, you'll earn a top tier of 30% commission. And the program pays out on a monthly basis. Now, one of the reasons that you'll want to do this is that you can offset some of the costs that you'll have to get some of the additional features that you may want in ActiveCampaign. Now, the company also has a reseller program which allows you to sell the service of ActiveCampaign. It's slightly different from the affiliate program. And once you're comfortable using ActiveCampaign, you can also become an ActiveCampaign certified consultant. And obviously what this does is this allows you to help businesses integrate ActiveCampaign into their business and as a result of ActiveCampaign generate more profit. And each aspect of your selling ActiveCampaign is part of their overall partner program. So you can choose the one that fits your business best. You can apply to that program through the dashboard. Welcome back. Now, depending on how you intend to use ActiveCampaign to market, you may want to be aware of the company's position on affiliate marketing. And to do that, you're going to go to this help area, and you're then going to type in the word affiliate. Once you do that and hit enter, you're going to see a third link. You're going to click that link that says affiliate marketing policy. And so that we can see the policy properly, we're going to go to the page. Now, depending on when you're seeing this video, you'll note that this policy was in place as of January 16th, 2019. And this is a policy that you may want to check up on from time to time if you intend to use ActiveCampaign on a regular basis. You'll note that the company does not allow you to use your list in order to send various affiliate offers to it. It also doesn't allow specific emails with the sole purpose in mind of pushing an affiliate link or offer. Anything that is promoting a product or service and you have no prior relationship, or the business you're promoting has no prior relationship, this is something that ActiveCampaign does not allow, as well as any emails relating to getting rich quick or making money from home. Now, they do state where an affiliate link is going to be okay if you're adding an affiliate link with the content being the primary focus of the email, and then emails regarding your affiliates for your products and services. You'll note that if ActiveCampaign determines that you are not a fit for their business, they will not suspend your account and keep your contacts. You will have access to your contacts if you need to move your relationship from ActiveCampaign to another autoresponder. You'll note on this page, you'll also see their entire terms of service, and this is something that you'll definitely want to read along with their affiliate marketing policy. Welcome back. Now, in order to get started with ActiveCampaign, there are a few settings that you'll want to be aware of. In order to find those settings, you're going to go to your left side menu, and you're going to click on the gear that says Settings. That's going to bring you to this menu. In the account setting, one thing you'll want to be aware of is that you can have and use a GDPR regulation statement. All you'll need to do is to click this link. That's going to bring you to this page. You'll then review and sign and enter your email. You'll then need to review that email. You'll then need to click on the review document, and then you'll need to walk through the signature process. Now, since you need to have an address at the bottom of all of your emails, you can add in addresses to use depending on the brands and companies that you are going to be using in your emails. You can also have different users having access to your ActiveCampaign account. All you'll need to do is to click this Add User button, and then this will allow you to place users inside of your account. Now, there are advanced settings you can use to assist you in email deliverability. We'll be covering that in another video. Now, in terms of different correspondence people will see in your emails, and when they click on the links in your emails, you can change some of those parameters. In particular, you can change the site name as well as changing the logo by placing a URL here in this area. You can also place a favicon here, which is a small image that people will see when they come to some of your pages. If you're going to be tracking the activity of your customers, you can do that by turning these buttons on. And when you do that, you'll need to place this tracking code on your website so that every time your customer clicks a link and goes to your page, you'll be able to track their activity on your site. If you're going to be using event tracking, that will require you to work with the company's API to do that. Now, those are the settings that you'll need in order to get started using ActiveCampaign. Although there are other settings that will require more extensive knowledge of the platform, you can get started with what you've seen in this video. Welcome back. Now, if you're using ActiveCampaign and you're using the trial in order to test, you do want to be aware of the limitations of the trial when you're using it. In order to see that, you're going to go to your profile. When you do that, you're going to click on Billing and Upgrade. Now, when you're using the free trial, you're going to have a contact limit of 100. You're also going to have a sending limit for 100. And those limits don't change even if you raise the number of contacts that you're going to enter into ActiveCampaign in order to try it to get started. Now, although we've been overpricing, the company suggests that you look at their light plan if you need to do more than what the trial will allow you. The light plan, as of the recording of this video, on a monthly basis is $89. It does not include the CRM. It does not include any of the custom domains or branding or even SMS marketing. It does, though, however, include email marketing, sending newsletters, and marketing automation. So you can either work with or around the trial depending on what your needs are when you're getting started. Welcome back. Now, ActiveCampaign does have a number of connections to third-party cloud-based applications, and you can do that through the cloud-based connector Zapier. And if you go to Zapier and you search their app directory, you can first start by typing in ActiveCampaign. What you want to do is you want to type in those cloud-based applications that you are currently using. For example, if we just type in the chatbot application ManyChat, you'll see that there are 131 possible integrations with ActiveCampaign. You'll also see connections between Stripe and ActiveCampaign, as well as webinar systems like GoToWebinar. Now, when you're looking at these connections, you'll notice that some of the connections are going to have the premium button there. That means then that you will need to have a paid account in order to set up a connection between ActiveCampaign and the other cloud-based application. What you'll do is you'll choose a connection. In this case, we're going to choose the connection where we're going to add an ActiveCampaign contact when there are new Stripe charges. We're going to click this button that says Try It. Now, if you already have a Stripe account connected to your Zapier account, you can then start with this specific trigger. You'll then test with your Stripe account. If you don't have a Stripe account connected to your Zapier account, you're going to need to click this button that says Connect an Account. What we can do now is we can click Save and Continue. We'll then test the charge in Stripe. And then we're going to set up our action. And the action is going to be that when there's a purchase in Stripe, that's going to add a new person inside of our ActiveCampaign account. So we're now going to click Continue. Now, we may not have an ActiveCampaign account connected to our Zapier account, so we'll then click Connect an Account. Now, in order to connect, we are going to need to go inside of our ActiveCampaign account and get the API URL. We're also going to need the unique API key for our ActiveCampaign account. Now, we'll find that information inside of our settings and then inside of our developer tab. We'll then need to copy in the URL as well as the key. Once we've connected, we can then click the test button. Once the test is successful, we can then click Save and Continue. We'll then need to fill in some preliminary information. Once we have the information, we'll then click Continue. We'll then send the test. And once we do that, we can then turn on our Zap. And basically, now whenever we have a Stripe purchase, that person will be then added to our ActiveCampaign account. Now, every connection works differently inside of Zapier depending on which application you're going to be connecting to ActiveCampaign. So you'll need to walk through the steps in a similar manner, even if you don't have the exact same steps that were just displayed in this video. Welcome back. Now, if you go inside of the settings area, what you're going to see on the left side menu is you're going to see a link for integrations. You open up that integrations link, you're going to see a button that says Add Integration. And what you're going to notice is that there are several connections that you can make using ActiveCampaign and these specific connections depending on whether or not you use them. For example, if we click the Facebook campaign link, you're going to note that ActiveCampaign will then request access to your Facebook account. It will then state that it wants to manage your advertising. You'll then note that your ActiveCampaign account is then connected to your Facebook account. So in each case, rather than using a third-party application, these are direct between ActiveCampaign and these cloud-based applications so that you'll see sync inside of both accounts with the information. Welcome back. Now, in order to start using ActiveCampaign, you're going to need to have contacts to send emails to. And so if you already have emails already in a CSV file that can be uploaded, or you have those contacts by name and email address, you can add them to ActiveCampaign. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this contact list. And in order to add contacts one by one, what you'll do is you'll click this Add a New Contact button. This will give you the opportunity to add in email, first name, last name, phone number, and then whatever organization you're going to specify these individuals are from. Now we've written a phone number in, however you can choose not to add the phone number if that's your preference. And so now we're going to click Add Contact. Now you can work with this contact to add them to a specific list. You can add in any tags that you want them to have, or you can use some of your advanced list options. Once we've done that, we can then click Apply. And again, what we can also do is we can also import individuals into our contact list by using a CSV file. And we can do that by clicking this Import button. And then what we're going to do is we're going to import from a specific file. Now we can also connect with other services to have contacts added automatically. For example, let's assume then that we want to add individuals that come into our GoToWebinar account. You'll see then we can then click this button that says Add a New Connection. And what you'll notice then is that this connection occurs through Zapier. So again, you will need to have knowledge of, in some cases, if you want to add contacts from some of your existing cloud-based services of Zapier so that you can add those individuals to your ActiveCampaign account. Welcome back. Now there are tools within the contacts menu that you'll want to be aware of. Now, in terms of some of these links, you're going to notice that they are overlap with other menus, and we'll see them in other videos when we cover some of the other tools in ActiveCampaign. In particular, one of the things you want to be aware of is the exclusion management link. When we click that link, we can create a specific exclusion within a specific list. And when we create this exclusion, what we're doing is we are giving ourselves the opportunity to send to an entire list and yet exclude certain individuals that we do not want to have access to a specific email. We can also clean up our list. For example, we can pick a specific list. We can state that we want all of those that are going to be unsubscribed before a specific date to be removed from this list. Now, it's just possible that we may not have any individuals, but again, if we have a reason for wanting to remove certain individuals from our list, we can do that. What this also does is this keeps inactive contacts out of your list so that they will not count against the number that determines what you're going to be paying. You can also organize your contacts by organization. So for example, we can add in a specific organization, and then what we can do is we can add in certain individuals to that organization. So if we go back inside of our contacts, we can add in individuals to this organization. We can also manage any tags that we have, and we can bulk add individuals to those tags. So for example, we can bulk edit all 4 contacts. We can then add in a specific tag. You'll see our tag become available. And then we'll add the tag to those 4 individuals and apply the changes. So our contact management tools give us control over how we designate the way we want our contacts to be classified. Welcome back. Now before you can begin sending emails and creating campaigns, you will need to have a specific list. You do that by coming to this list link. That's going to bring you to this area. If you have any existing lists that you've already created, you'll see them here. And what you're going to do is you're going to click this button that says Add New List. You're going to name your list, and you're going to give your list a specific website URL. You're going to give your contacts a reminder of why they're on your list and why you're emailing them. Once you do that, you'll then click Create List. If you want to add contacts, you'll then be able to import those contacts using a CSV file, or you'll be able to go to that list and then add them one by one. What you can also do is you can set up subscribe by email. So we're going to click this link, which is in the drop down arrow for the list we just created. When we get to this page, we're going to click the Add button. And what you're going to see then is you're going to see an email address that you can give individuals in order to subscribe. And of course, there's also an email address that individuals can use in order to unsubscribe. So what we're going to do here is we're going to select all of the list, and we're then going to click the Add button. Then individuals can be subscribed to your list simply by sending an email using this email address, which you will have to give to your customers and prospects. Welcome back. Now the lists do have list management tools, and you can access those list management tools inside of the list section and inside of the manage list area. What you can do is you can click this drop down button and you can click the advanced settings. Now if you have multiple users, what you can do is you can change the list owner using this drop down menu. You can also resend the last campaign that was sent to all of your new contacts by turning on this setting. You can have your campaigns auto-posted to Facebook by turning on this setting. And you can send copies of the campaign to specific individuals by writing their email address in this dialog box, and then receive notifications of subscriptions and unsubscriptions by putting email addresses in this dialog box. There are also settings for the public pages. You can dictate the nature of unsubscribing by clicking this edit button, and this will allow you to make changes with each customer interaction that you're going to have. Once you've made all the changes, you can then click Save. Welcome back. Now once you have set up your list, you can then create a campaign. And you can do that by going to this blue button or by going to the Campaigns link on the left-hand side menu. We're going to click Create a New Campaign. We're going to determine what kind of campaign we want to send. And we're going to determine if it's going to be a standard campaign, which is basically a broadcast newsletter, whether it will be an automated message, part of our automations, whether it will be an autoresponder, whether it will be a split-tested email, or a date-based email, which functions in some ways just like an autoresponder. So first, we're going to determine that this will be a newsletter, and then we're going to write in a campaign name. Once we do that, we'll then click Next. We'll then determine which list will receive the email, and then we'll click Next. Then we'll need to design the email. We can use an existing template, or we can build the entire email from scratch. We're going to choose Build from Scratch. What we're going to do is then choose the kind of template that we want to use in order to create our campaign. We can create a newsletter, which is going to be basically a text email with other additions, such as images, inside of our email's body, or we can just choose a text-only email. In this case, we're going to choose a text-only email and then click OK. We're then going to give our email a subject, and then we're going to click Continue. We'll then write in our email. What we're going to do is we're going to cut and paste the text of an article into this email. We're then going to edit our email. If we want to insert personalized content, we can do that. In this case, we're going to write in the individual's first name. Once we have our content the way we want it, we can then either click Next or Save and Exit. Now in this case, our email is set as a broadcast email, so it's going to go out as soon as we send it. However, if we want to schedule it, we can click this button for a specific time. In order to test the email, we can then send this test to our email so that we can determine if it's going to look the way we want it. And then ActiveCampaign will give you deliverability check that you'll want to correct before you send out your email. Once you've made your corrections, you'll then get a pass on the spam check, and you'll then be ready to begin sending your broadcast email. You'll then click the Send Now button, and then you'll click the Send Campaign Now button. And then your email will be sent. Welcome back. Now in the Campaigns tab, there are campaign management tools that you can use. In this case, we're going to look at the templates, and basically when you're creating your own template, you're going to be able to save it into an area along with the pre-made templates that are available to you to write emails. You can also use message variables. And basically, message variables allow you to create content that you use over and over in your emails. So for example, if we click the Add button, we're going to give our message variable a name. We're then going to give ourselves an easy to remember personalization tag. We're then going to choose the list that this signature is going to be available for. In this case, we're going to choose the list that we have available. And then we're going to write into our code editor the text that we're going to use over and over again. Once we have our code in, we're then going to click Add. And then when we're writing in our email, what we're going to do is we're going to write in our personalization tag. And what you'll note then is when the email arrives in the individual's box, what you'll see then is the text that we set up with our message variable. And finally, we can customize and set up our message archive. And this will give us the capacity of being able to give individuals an archive where they can see all of our broadcast emails in a way that we can customize the look. And what you'll notice then is that this is how the archive is going to look by default. However, we can add and take things out, and then we can save the final version. And then that individual will be able to see an archive of all of our broadcast emails. Welcome back. Now in ActiveCampaign, you can also create autoresponder emails so that your customer, when they sign up to your list, they will get access to a series of emails that you're going to be setting up in advance. What you're going to do is you're going to click Create a New Campaign. You're then going to choose an autoresponder campaign when you create, and then you're going to create a campaign name. Once you do that, you're then going to click Next. You're then going to choose the specific list for the campaign. You'll then click Next. You'll then choose your template, and then you'll click OK. You'll then write in the subject for your first email. Then you'll click Continue. Once you've written in your email, you'll then click Next. Since this is an autoresponder, near the end of the settings, what you're going to do is you're going to determine when this message is going to be sent. You're also going to determine whether or not it's going to be sent to your existing contacts. You may want to click Yes. You can choose then when you're going to send it, because you can determine that you want it to be sent after a specific time. And typically when you have an initial email, that email is going to be sent immediately upon them becoming part of your list. You'll then click Finish. You can then schedule another email. So for example, we can click Create a New Campaign. Then going to select Autoresponder. We're going to give this campaign a name. We'll then click Next. We'll determine where this email is going to go. It's going to go into the list where we've created the first message. We'll then click Next. We'll then choose our template for the second message. We'll then choose our format and then click OK. We'll then write in our subject. We'll then click Continue. Once we've written our email, we'll then click Next. We're then going to write in, and we're going to send this to the contacts after a specific time frame. We're then going to set up the time frame to be 1 day after. We want to specify the number of hours, we can do that. We're then going to click Finish. And we'll be able to track the number of people receiving these emails in our campaign section. Welcome back. Now in order to capture names and email addresses, you are going to need to create a form so that you can place your opt-in code on your website. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to this link that says Form. And once you get to this dialog box, you're going to click this button that says Create a New Form. Or if you don't get the dialog box, you can click Add a New Form. Now this name that you give the form is going to be internal to you. You can determine what kind of form it's going to be. If it's going to be in line with your website, if it's going to be one that floats at the top, a floating box, or one that is going to be modal with your website. We are going to choose to have an inline form. Now the action is going to be to subscribe the individual to the list. We're going to select the list, and then we're going to click Create. And we can then make changes to the form. For example, if we don't want the name, we can take it out. If we want to add in just the first name, we can do that. We can change the layout style or any of the colors as well as the button. We can choose what happens when the individual submits the form. We can then send individuals to a specific URL, or we can show a standard ActiveCampaign thank you page. Once we have it the way we want it, we're then going to click Integrate. And it's at this point that we can take the code and place it in our web page. We can place it to our WordPress site. We can send a direct link so that individuals can just receive it, or we can post it to our Facebook page. Welcome back. Now you can dictate the nature of the reporting or the confirmation process for the individual becoming part of your list. And so you can click inside of this area. What you can do is you can go to the options area. What you're then going to do is you're going to click this gear. You're going to notice that you can either determine that the individual will need an opt-in confirmation or they won't need an opt-in confirmation. If you leave the opt-in confirmation on, you can preview and edit the opt-in email. Now, when the individual confirms, you have some options. You can show a specific message, or you can redirect that individual to a specific URL of your choosing. Once you determine how you want the reporting or confirmation process to happen, you can then click Save. Welcome back. Now, the CRM portion of ActiveCampaign is called Deals, and it allows you to map the progress of a client that you may be working with when a sale doesn't happen as soon as they meet you. And in order to do that, you're going to go to the Deals area, and then you're going to come into this panel. Now, when you first get started, you can click Add a Pipeline, but if you don't have that panel, what you can do is you can click Add a Pipeline. We're going to give this pipeline a name, and if you have groups, you can determine which groups are going to be added to your pipeline. Now, these are going to be the users of your system, not your customer. You can also determine if you're going to have deals from an automation assigned to this one. In this case, we're going to choose manually and then click Save. Now, the default pipeline for this client system that you have is now in 3 stages. Someone that you're going to contact, someone that you're in contact with, and then someone that you need to follow up with. You can add another stage if you want to. We can give that stage a name, and then we can give it a background header color, and then click Add Stage. We can add another stage, and then our pipeline is complete. Now, what we'll do then is we will then add someone to a specific deal. We're going to give the deal a title and a value. And then we're going to put the individual's name and email address here in this area, as well as any other information that would be pertinent to the deal. Once we have that, we can then click Add the Deal. What this will then do is this will allow us to keep track of individuals as they proceed through our system. And so basically within the deal screen, you'll be able to find and follow up with a team of individuals working on one particular aspect of your business, which is the titled deal, as well as the different stages where they are. Welcome back. Now we can manage the activity needed to work with the client inside of the deal section. In this case, what we're going to do is click on top of the customer. That's going to open up this dialog. And what we can do is we can add in a deal task. Now this is going to be a task specific to the actual deal. We can determine how this is going to happen. We can determine when it needs to happen. And once we do that, we can then click Add. We'll then have added in a deal task. And if we look at our deal, we'll see the task has been added. Now you'll notice here that you have in the contacts area indication that what you can do is you can assign this task to different individuals inside of your organization. So this is a reason why you'd want to have other individuals to be part of your account so that you'll be able to work with them to complete the activity on a particular client. And you can do that in the contact section in the Manage Tasks link, or by adding in a new organization and managing it that way. In conclusion, we have now walked through the basic functions of ActiveCampaign. You can now add contacts, start campaigns, you can do deals, you can create a list, and create forms in order to start collecting names and email addresses and then contacting them on a regular basis. We've also looked at integrations, some of which occur through ActiveCampaign and others which occur as a result of its connection to Zapier, the third-party cloud-based connector. And we've walked through all the settings that will be necessary for you to get started using ActiveCampaign. And what you'll want to explore going forward are automations, which allow you to send targeted messages based on your subscribers' activity on your site. And once automations are fully understood, they can be integrated into the deal process. Hello and welcome. Now, in this course, assuming that you already know and understand the basics of using ActiveCampaign, you can exploit most of its features by understanding its automations feature. And so we'll be looking at the automations and how you set them up and how you integrate them into everything that you're doing with ActiveCampaign. Another part of using ActiveCampaign is being able to increase your email deliverability. However, that does not come automatically just by using ActiveCampaign. There are some steps that you need to take to make ActiveCampaign more effective, and we'll be talking about that in this course also. We'll also do a live example, including both emails as well as integration with the deals feature. And finally, we'll look at creating tags and automations based on those tags. Welcome back. Now, in order to create activity-based automated emails, you want to start the process by going to the Automations tab. And once you come into the Automation section, you're going to click this button that says Add a New Automation. You'll notice what you can do is you can start from scratch, or you can use an existing recipe. So you can tweak them according to your particular parameters. So in this case, we're going to look at a set of recommended recipes. And then we're going to choose one recommended recipe. And we're going to choose someone who is interested in a product and having them tagged. So we're going to click this recipe, and then we're going to click Continue. What ActiveCampaign tells you is that you're going to have to modify some elements of the automation in order to get it to work with your lists and with your campaigns. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click the Get Started button. Now, if you don't have any whitelisted domains added, you're going to need to add a domain. Once you have your domains added, then you're going to add your domain to this area to start the tracking. We're then going to click Next. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to modify conditions. We're saying that if the individual has visited one particular link one time, or they've visited a particular link ever, then we're going to have it take an action. Now, even though this is the recipe, we can take this part out. Once we have our condition the way we want it, we'll then click Next. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove some of the other elements so that all we have is one set of condition and one path. So basically we're saying that if the individual visits this page and it meets these conditions, we're going to add in a tag. In fact, we're going to delete the remove tag. We're then going to click on Add a specific tag. We're going to enter the tag that we want to add. And then we're going to click Save. So basically what we've done is we've added our tracking code to our page. We're saying that if the individual visits this page, we're going to add a tag to them indicating that they're interested in our product. And so basically what we've done is we've taken an existing recipe and we've modified it for our use. And when we're ready to use it, all we'll need to do is to click this button that says Active. Welcome back. Now we can also add in automations from scratch. So to do that, we're going to come into the Automation section. We're then going to click Add a New Automation. We're then going to click Start from Scratch. Once we do that, we're then going to click Continue. We then have a number of actions that we can choose as our trigger. What we're going to say is that if an individual replies to an email, we're then going to have an automated email sent to them. So we're going to now click Continue. Now we have a choice as to whether the individual is going to receive email when they reply to a personal email or when they reply to a campaign. We're going to select when they reply to a campaign. We can then choose a specific email, and we can run this either once or multiple times. We're going to run this particular automation once. What we can also do is within a particular list is we can segment the individuals that are going to receive this automation. Now in this case, we're not going to do that, but we could do that to create a second grouping within our list. We're now going to click Add Start. We've now started the process by creating a trigger and customizing it. In the next video, we will then pick it up and then create an action and customize it. Welcome back. Now the first part of creating an automation is to set the trigger. The second part of the automation is to create the action based on that trigger. In this case, what we've said is that we're going to take an action based on the trigger, which was an individual replying to a specific email, which we have already set. And what we're going to say in this case is that we're going to send an email when that individual replies to our email. So we're going to click Send an Email. Now currently we don't have any emails set for automation, so we're going to need to create one. And we're then going to click Create. We're then going to use a specific template, and then we're going to click OK. And once we have that name written in, we can then click Continue. And once we've written the text of that email, we can then click Next. Once we verify that our email is what we want it to be, we can then click Finish. So what we have so far is when an individual replies to this email, they're going to get another email back from us that's going to be automated. Now we can add on other automations to this system. So for example, if we click this button, we can add in something from the contact section. For example, when that happens, we can add in a tag so that not only will the individual receive this email, but they'll also receive a specific tag so that we can activate further automations in the future. Welcome back. Now, one of the unspoken benefits of ActiveCampaign is good email deliverability. That means then that your email is hitting the inbox of some of the major players such as Gmail and Microsoft. However, none of this happens automatically, and there are some steps that you will need to take in order to assure the highest possible deliverability within their system. And to find some of these settings, what you're going to do is to go inside of your settings area. And once you click inside of the settings area, what you're going to do is you're going to come into the Advanced tab. What you're going to notice is the dialog for email deliverability, and you're going to see three choices. One of those choices is going to be for the enterprise plan and not going to be relevant for most people. You're going to see that ActiveCampaign can manage deliverability for you. The other choice is that you will manage your own email authentication. Now when you use ActiveCampaign, the header is going to say something specific. You're going to notice that there's going to be an email address that's not going to be one connected to your domain. And you may feel as if this is not going to be consistent with your brand and something that you don't want customers and or prospects to see. And when that is the case, what you'll want to do is you'll want to click this button to manage your own email authentication. And that is a process that you're going to need to go through in order to secure the highest rate possible for your sending domain. Welcome back. Now, in order to secure maximum deliverability, ActiveCampaign recommends that you use their authentication method for their domain. However, if you want to use your own domain, you're going to want to make sure that you're inside of your settings area, and then you're inside of the Advanced tab. And then once you're inside of email deliverability, you want to choose the option that says, I will manage my own email authentication. Then what you're going to do here is you're going to enter your domain name to generate a DNS record. Once you have your domain written in, you're then going to click Generate. What you're also going to do is you're also going to generate your sender ID for your domain name. And what you're going to have then are going to be two sets of records. Now, in most cases, your host will be willing to either show you exactly how you're going to do this inside of your domain and hosting, or in some cases, they will even undertake this process for you. And so what you want to do is to take all of the records, you want to copy and paste them, and then head to your support area for your hosting company and ask them to insert these records for you at your domain level account. Once you have the information, you're then going to click Save. Now, just so that you'll note, what you're saving is your choice. This information is going to disappear because you may have to enter it again. So you want to make sure that you've taken down this information before you hit the Save button. Otherwise, you'll lose it and you'll have to regenerate the same information again. You'll also see discussion about the SPF, and ActiveCampaign manages this for you so that you don't have to do this inside of your domain or your host. Welcome back. You are now looking at the website mail-tester.com. And this mail testing site will help us to determine whether our DKIM and SPF frameworks are working correctly. And so what we're going to do when we come to this site is we're going to take this email address, we're going to copy it, and then we're going to send a test email to this address and then check our score. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to copy this address, and then we're going to head back to our email tester. What we're going to do is send a test email. In this case, we're going to put the test email in this dialog, and then we're going to click this button that says Send Test. And then we're going to head back to mail-tester.com. Once we've done that, we're then going to click Test Your Score. What you should notice is that the DKIM is valid as well as the SPF passing. What you can also do at the site is to click this link that says SPF and DKIM check. So once you determine that both signatures are valid, you are then ready to move on to the next step. Welcome back. You are now looking at the website postmaster.google.com. And this is a free tool by Google that will help you to answer the question of whether you have a good domain reputation at Gmail. And the belief is, if you have a good reputation at Gmail, you're likely to have a good reputation with other cloud-based services. And so what you're going to want to do is to set up Google Postmaster. And this is going to help you to determine your own domain reputation. So what you're going to do here is you're going to initially see this dialog box, or if you have been to the site before, you're going to see a plus sign in the bottom right hand corner. You're going to click that plus button. What you're first going to do is you're going to enter your domain name. And once you do that, you will then click the next button. What you're then going to do is you're going to add a text record to the DNS at your hosting account. And if you have any questions about this, you'll want to ask your host to add this text record directly, or if you know how to do it, you can add it. Now, once you've added the record to your host, what you'll then need to do is to verify your domain. And then your verify should check out with Google Postmaster, and you will then be done with the verification process. Now, once you've verified your domain, you'll then be able to come back to Google Postmaster Tools. You'll then be able to click on your domain name, and then you'll be able to determine your sender reputation. Now, if we click this domain name, this is a fairly new domain name, so we will not see a particular reputation. In addition to this, Postmaster Tools does not go backward in time. However, every time you send an email, you will start to see information accumulate as to whether you have a good sender reputation or you don't. Welcome back. Now, it's quite possible that you may find that even with your authentication, that your emails are not experiencing the highest possible deliverability that you think they should be. And what you'll want to do is you'll want to then allow your Postmaster Tools account to be accessed by ActiveCampaign. And to do that, you're going to come into your Postmaster Tools account. You're going to go to this column where you have the three dots. You're then going to click Manage Users. You're then going to click this plus button in the bottom right hand corner. And then you're going to give an email address of the Google account that you wish to give read access to. In this case, what you'll need to do is you'll need to get an email address from ActiveCampaign. And you'll do that by contacting their support for troubleshooting with your domain name to determine deliverability. Once they give you that email address, you're going to enter that email address here in this area. Once you have it, you're then going to click Next. Once you do that, you'll then click Done. What you'll then want to do is use the support window in the bottom right-hand corner. You can either start a live chat or to leave a message with their support. And then you'll enter in that they then have access to your post metadata. Now remember, you do need to have already received an email from ActiveCampaign in order to complete this process. Welcome back. Now, it's quite possible that you may find that your domain reputation is not considered to be a good one with Gmail. If that's the case, one of the things you can do inside of ActiveCampaigns is to go to the list area. Once you get to this section, you can then go to the list that you have been sending. You can then click the down arrow. And what you're going to notice is that there is a link here for engagement management. You're going to click that link. What you'll see here is that ActiveCampaign will then have cleanup options. What we're going to do is we're going to click View Cleanup Options. And you'll have two choices. What you can do is you can remove all unengaged contacts. These are going to be individuals that have never engaged with you, either clicking or opening a link. Or you can determine the date by which you want to set. So we can click this button and we can say that anyone who has not engaged in either 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, or 24 months, we want to remove those contacts from our list. And we can do that by clicking this link and then clicking this red button that says remove anyone that has not engaged according to the parameters that we have set. What you can also do in the automation section is you can set up an engagement tagging automation. We're going to click on this recipe, and what you'll see here is that tags are added based on activity in the early days of becoming part of your email marketing list. Then after 21 days, if there is no activity, a disengaged tag is then added. Then after 30 days, an inactive tag is added if there is no activity. In other words, the individual is then moved from disengaged to inactive. And once we have tagged the individuals that are considered to be inactive, we can then sort all of our contacts according to that tag, and then we can delete the contacts that are considered to be inactive. What this does is this keeps our list from becoming an inactive one, lowering our domain reputation. Welcome back. Now in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to set up the first part of our live example. And we're going to start the process by setting up an integration between our ActiveCampaign account and our WordPress website. And we can do that through the Apps section, which also has integrations. You're going to see an integration with WordPress at the top. We're going to click that link. Then we're going to follow this link to the page that has the plugin for ActiveCampaign, and we're going to download it and then make it part of our WordPress website. And since the plugin is free, we can go to the Add Plugin directory. We can type in ActiveCampaign, and we'll then see our plugin. We can then click Install Now. Once it's fully installed to our site, we can then click Activate. Then what we're going to do is go to our settings. We can then go all the way to the bottom link and click ActiveCampaign. We're then going to need to get the API URL as well as the API key from ActiveCampaign. And we can do that inside the settings area. Then we go to the developer link. You're going to see your URL and your key, and you're going to copy those into your WordPress website. Once you have the information entered, you're then going to click Connect. You'll then see that your ActiveCampaign is connected to your WordPress website and fully integrated with existing subscription forms already inside of ActiveCampaign. Welcome back. Now in this video, we're going to connect our ActiveCampaign account to our GetResponse account, which is another autoresponder. And so what we're going to do is we're going to first look for ActiveCampaign. Once we have ActiveCampaign active, we are then going to look for GetResponse. And we now have both applications active in Zapier. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an ActiveCampaign subscriber for every new GetResponse contact. And that's the first button that we have here all the way at the bottom of the page. We're going to click that button that says Try It. So the addition to GetResponse is going to be the trigger. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Continue. Our GetResponse account is already connected to our Zapier account. Once we test the account, we'll then click Save and Continue. We're going to choose a specific list in GetResponse, and then we'll click Continue. We're going to set up a test contact. And now we're going to create an ActiveCampaign content as the action in a specific list. Our ActiveCampaign account is already connected, so we'll test it. It's successful, so then we'll click Save and Continue. We're now going to select the list where we want the addition. We're now going to click Continue. We're then going to send the test to ActiveCampaign. The contact is then added. We can then click Finish. And now our connection is turned on, so that every prospect that becomes part of our GetResponse list will automatically then become part of our ActiveCampaign list. Welcome back. Now the next step in this live example is to create a separate list that we're going to be using. In order to do that, we're going to go to this list area. That's going to open up into this panel. We're then going to click Add a New List. We're going to create a name for this list. And then we're going to write in our website address. We're now going to write in why the individuals are going to be on our list. Once we have our list created, we're then going to go to this drop down arrow. We're then going to go to the advanced settings. We're going to turn on that the last campaign should be sent to new contacts. We're also going to turn on that our campaigns for this list will be auto-posted to Facebook. And what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to connect to Facebook. We're then going to determine where copies of our new campaign will be sent. We are then going to put in an email address. And we're going to use the same notification email for both subscription notifications as well as unsubscribe notifications. Once we do that, we're then going to look at the public pages. And once we've made any changes to the various pages, we can then click Save in each one. And we're going to head back to the list panel. And we're then going to click Save. And now our list is ready to begin receiving visitors. Welcome back. We're now going to create a form to use for our website. So in order to do that, we're going to go to the Forms area. That's going to open up into a panel. We're then going to click Add New Form. We're going to choose an inline form. We're going to give that inline form a name. And the action is we're going to subscribe the individuals to a specific list. And then we're going to click Create. We're also going to have these individuals tagged. So we're going to click Add an Action. We're then going to add a specific tag. And we're going to write in the tag and call it Video Editing. And once we come to the form editor, what we're going to do is we're going to swap out full name for first name. We're going to click on top of the button, and then we're going to make some changes to the actual button. Inside of our options, instead of sending them to the standard thank you page, we're going to send them to our own URL. And once we've completed our changes to the form, we're then going to click Integrate. That's going to bring us to the publishing page. And what we're going to do is we're going to publish this to our WordPress site. So what we're going to do now is we're going to come down into our settings. We're then going to go inside of the ActiveCampaign link. You should then see your subscription forms. If you don't see them, you're going to want to click this button that says Update Settings. You're then going to want to hover over the form that you're going to want to use. And at the bottom, you'll notice that this is considered to be form ID number 4. And that's important because we're going to cut and paste this shortcode into our post or our page, but we're going to include form ID number 4. So that means then we're going to add a block. That block is going to have shortcode. We're going to paste in the shortcode, and then we're going to substitute the number 4. Now what we can do is we can preview the page, and you'll see our form there, which means now that we can then click Publish. And our form is now live on our WordPress website. Welcome back. What we're now going to do is we're going to create a newsletter for the individuals that are part of our email marketing list. And to do that, we're going to go to this Create a Campaign button. That's going to bring us to this dialog page. We're then going to choose a standard campaign and give this campaign a name. Once we do that, we'll then click Next. We're then going to choose the individuals that we want to receive this broadcast email. In this case, we're going to combine all of the lists that we have available. And then we're going to click Next. In this case, we're going to use one of the templates. We're going to give this email a name. We're then going to click Continue. We're going to choose to create this page. In this case, we're going to add in our logo. We're then going to place a link on the button. Once we have the broadcast the way we want it, we will then click Next. Now in this case, we are going to leave our schedule turned off. And what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that this email goes out as soon as we send it. We'll note that we have a spam check. We're then going to make sure that we take care of any issues. Once we fix them, we'll then click Close and then click Next. Our broadcast email is now ready to be sent, and all we'll need to do is to click Send Now, or we can click Save and Exit if we want to undertake the sending process later. Welcome back. Now we've just created a newsletter which is broadcast to all of the contacts that we have on our list. What we now want to do is we now want to take that same message and we want to add it to our autoresponder list of messages. And to do that, we're going to go back to Create a New Campaign. We get to this page, we're going to give that campaign a name. We're then going to select Autoresponder, and then we're going to click Next. We're going to set up to send to all of our lists, and then we're going to click Next. And when we get to the page for templates, what we're going to use instead are going to be past campaigns. And we're going to click on this button that says Past Campaigns. And what we're going to do is we're going to use this template. We're going to give this email a name, and then we're going to click Continue. Once we verify the message, we're then going to click Next. What we're going to do is scroll down to the bottom, and this email is going to go out immediately to those who have signed up for our list. Now what we can also do is if in the interim we know individuals have not received this email but they're already on our email marketing list, we can have that email sent to our contacts. But because we just only recently created this email as a broadcast and we almost immediately created the autoresponder email, we're not going to send that email to existing contacts. We're going to change the emails so that we can pass our own spam check. Once we've done that, we're then going to click Next. And what we'll do then is we'll then click the Finish button, and then this email will be sent to new contacts immediately. We can then create a follow-up campaign. And again, we're going to call this an autoresponder. And then we're going to click Next. We're going to select the recipients. And then we're going to click Next. We're going to choose another email that we've sent in the past as our day 2 email. And we're going to give this email a subject and then click Continue. Once we have our email the way we want it, we will then click Next. Now this email, what we're going to do is we're going to mark it so that we send it after a specific time frame. In this case, we're going to make this 2 days. And once we do that, we'll then click Finish. We now have a set of autoresponder messages that we can add to, but we know now that individuals that join our list will get these 2 emails automatically. Welcome back. So that we can indicate those individuals that are already part of our list before we start adding new members, we're going to tag the individuals that are currently our subscribers. And so to do that, we're going to go to the contacts area. It's going to open up into a dialog, and then once we get to that dialog, what we're going to do is we're going to edit all, and then we're going to take out those whom we don't want to edit. So we're going to edit 3 of the 5 individuals. And what we're going to do is we're then going to edit these individuals. And we're going to bulk edit them as contacts. And all we're going to do here is we're going to add a specific tag. We're going to call this tag Legacy. And we're going to add the tag. We're then going to click Apply Changes. And then all 3 of these individuals are going to have the same tag. What we're now going to do is we're going to tag the individuals that don't have tags. And we are going to bulk edit them also. We're only going to bulk edit 2 contacts this time. We're going to add in a different tag. And then we're going to click Add the tag. They're going to click Apply Changes. And then we have 2 different sets of tags for the same individuals that are part of our contacts. And we want to tag them as existing subscribers before we begin adding new subscribers to our list. Welcome back. Now that we've created specific tags, what we want to do is to create new automations based on those specific tags. And to do that, we're going to go to the Automation section, and we're going to click Add a new automation. In this case, we're going to start this automation from scratch. And then we're going to click Continue. And we're going to set the trigger at Tag is added. And then we're going to click Continue. We're going to set the tag, and we're going to run it multiple times. What we're then going to do is click Add Start. What we're then going to do is we're going to send a specific email to this contact. We're then going to create an email to get started. And then we're going to click Create. We're then going to use one of our past campaigns. We're then going to use one of our repeated messages. We're then going to write in our subject. We're then going to click Continue. We'll then verify the email says what we want, and we'll then click Next. Once we do that, we'll then click Finish. And we'll now rename the automation. And then we'll click Save. And now what we have is when someone new has the tag that we've created, the legacy tag, they're now going to receive an email thanking them for being considered to be a legacy member. So we've now created a tag-based automation based on something that we do and initiate by creating the tag. Welcome back. Now in this part of the live example, we're going to work with the Deals section. And so to do that, we're going to click on this area that says Deals. That's going to open up into the panel for Deals. We're then going to add in a new deal. We're going to give the deal a title and description. We're going to give the deal a specific value. And we're going to give a specific client. What we're going to do now is we're going to click Add the Deal. What we're now going to do is we're going to click on top of this deal, and we're going to add in a specific task. And what we're going to do now is we're going to click the Add button. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to our automations. And we're going to add a new automation. We're going to start this automation from scratch, and then click Continue. What we're going to set as the trigger is a deal stage change. And we're now going to click Continue. What we're going to do now is we're going to state that when there is any change in stage, we're going to run multiple times a specific email. And we're then going to click Start. And when that happens, what we're going to do is we're going to send a specific email. We're going to create an email for this fact. We're going to give the email a name and then click Create. We're going to write a specific email. In this case, we're going to give our email a subject. We're going to edit out the button. And we're going to edit out our logo. And we're going to edit out some of the text. Once the email is saying what we want, we're then going to click Next. And then, if our settings are what we want them to be, we're then going to click Finish. And we're going to name this automation by the deal. When we're ready to run the automation, we can then click Active. So basically now we have an automated email being sent anytime there's a change in stage with one of our clients. So when we move an individual from contact to in contact, that individual will then get a specific email based on what we created. In conclusion, you now have an understanding of every aspect of using ActiveCampaign in order to send broadcast emails, autoresponder emails, as well as activity-based automated emails. And you now understand how to automate that process, whether you choose to sell products and services or you do client work in stages. You now know how to tag certain individuals on your list and then create automations based on those tags. And we've looked at the integration process with both Zapier as well as WordPress. And we've walked through the process of understanding email deliverability, whether you choose to use the ActiveCampaign set of tools or you intend to use your own to manage your own authentication. To do that, we've worked with Postmaster tools inside of Google so you can have a better understanding of how Gmail is reading your deliverability. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I'll see you either in another video or in another course.